about to start. I can see that Tunji is recording the stuff. Thank you very much. So I will give the floor to Divine and then we are on. Divine,
Yeah, I can hear you.
yes,
All
please
right.
take the floor.
Okay. So thank you very much, Stefan. Uh, I'll just kind of wait till Nathan is here, or is he here already?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so anyway, I think I should introduce everyone. Like, okay, Nathan, this is the entire Gen Z community. You are definitely part of it. Like, it's not by choice. You're definitely part of it. So we're really like happy to have you on this AMA to know more about class and how you actually worked on it, every single thing you face along the way, and also you also share some things for us to learn as well.
Awesome.
All right, so anyway, tell us something like, okay, about yourself without asking any questions. Let's know who Nathan really is.
Uh, okay. So first of all, I'm a pretty boring guy as a person. Put that out of the way. Yeah.
Nathan, you're muted. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right.
You can hear me right now.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So I'm Nathan Nwachuku. I'm an 18-year-old software engineer and tech entrepreneur. I got into I got into tech. Okay, no, not got into tech. I was interested in tech when I was like all the way back like 10, but I didn't get until I was 15. After I got blind in my right eye on in like secondary school on my 15th birthday, and yeah, that was like the major motivation for me to really get into tech. But I would go into that like later when I'm really telling the story of Klas, like the how I got the idea. Yeah, and yeah, I went to Graceland International School in Port Harcourt. I've lived in Port Harcourt my whole life, actually. So it's just recently that I moved to Lagos to actually be closer to the tech community. I'm a dropout of Carleton University in Canada. I was meant to study computer science there, but I really believe that what I'm doing with Klas is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's something that I may never get again, and something that I'm very grateful to have. So I convinced my mom to let me drop out, which you know how Nigerian parents are. Yeah, but it all worked out fine at the end, at least so far. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Sounds like
Yeah.
a typical, Mark Zuckerberg story. But anyway, so you said something about you having like something that had to do or where you had to be in the hospital and you couldn't be in school for like for quite
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
time. Okay, so that's right there. Yeah, some challenges that you might have faced right there. What exactly would you say? Okay, yeah, that something really happened, something really bad happened. What was the challenge? Because it's
Okay.
everything, it's everything that poses as a threat. It comes with this challenge.
Yeah. Okay. So around this time in my life, I was 15. I was nothing like how I am right now. I was not a nerd. I was actually, what you say, cool. At least to me, I think I was that time, and I wasn't really. I love tech, but I wasn't ready to go into it and all that. So, um, on my birthday, stuff that normally happen in boarding school, that's like your friends, especially in boys hostel, that like your friends are beating you and all that. So
Yeah.
they were doing that, not really beating, but they were just throwing stuff at me, mostly slippers. But one of my best friends, actually my bunkmate at the time, so I was kind of using these buckets, these like just normal plastic buckets to kind of shield my face because I didn't want anything to hit it. And I slanted the bucket like at a 30-degree angle where the base of the bucket was like parallel to my face, just facing me right there. And one of my friends, I kind of threw a sandals called Caterpillar. Is this huge, heavy sandals that, like, if they hit you that stuff, you may black out. And he threw it to the base of the bucket. It broke a piece of it, and a piece of it went straight into my head and shattered my eyes. And I was in shock. I didn't know what happened, and I was I actually kind of picked up some pieces of my eyes and ran to the hospital, then blacked out. And just from there, from that night, I kept moving from hospital to hospital. at the point I went to Lagos, did a few surgeries there. I was even flown to Australia. I stayed there for like 2 months there, did all sorts of surgeries. I wasn't able to get the eye back, but at least they were able to patch it up together so that nobody would actually know that I'm half blind unless I tell them. Yeah, and during this period, it lasted for 5 months. I was out of school for 5 months, so I missed like a whole term plus summer holiday, and this was before SS3. So I was writing like IGSE, Cambridge, SAT, and all that, and I missed all the training for that too. So during this period, I was extremely bored, because it was just like hospital to hospital, and I wanted a way to kind of teach physics online. So even though I wasn't super nerdy that time, I still really loved like I've always been a like physics geek all my life, and I actually wanted to be a physics professor, but I found that those guys don't really make much money, and I don't want to be writing grants all my life. So I was like, okay, no, I'm not going down there. Yeah, yeah. So that was the whole this thing. I wanted to teach physics online, and I looked at platforms like Udemy and the rest. I really don't like all those ones because you have to do like pre-recorded courses. I love engaging with people, and I would look for a platform where I can teach, like where I can deliver live classes at scale. There was no platform that existed at the time. I didn't even know of Zoom and the rest too. So that was where the idea came in. And at first, it was meant to be just a kind of learning teaching platform for blind and visually impaired people. But after I graduated from high school, I took a gap year, and the pandemic hit, And during that time, I saw that, okay, this can actually be much bigger, and I expanded it to everyone. But as of till now, I've not yet said like working on it yet. I was just still thinking about it and while doing other things. Then it was now until last year, like late last year, that I was like, what would actually make a lot of sense is if I focus on building the infrastructure for online teaching, help people start an online school, deliver classes at scale, and own that experience. It should not be like a marketplace. And that was how I came at the final idea of Klas. And since then, I haven't changed the idea, and it's been going quite great.
That makes a lot of sense. Sounds like those things that that, oh, this is definitely what I want to do at this point in time.
Yeah.
It actually does make a lot of sense. But one thing I also want to also find out too. I know that everything is not just roses and
Yeah.
like that. Sometimes people do have like hard things going on. So the period where you were having your gap year and
Mhm.
trying to figure out most of these things, trying to connect it up together. What will I say was should I say challenge now rather than okay, now you have the idea.
Mhm.
To build it is another thing.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, looking at the fact that there are many other things involved. Okay, let's not talk about fun. Let's not talk about the technical expertise. What were those challenges now after you got in the idea? You knew exactly what you wanted to do
Yeah.
with life. This is what I want to do now. Now going to get what you want is another thing. What would you say those challenges were?
Okay, so the first challenge, first of all, was actually realizing what exactly I wanted to do. So when I first had the idea, I wanted to do so much at the same time, and that was one of the biggest mistakes I actually made. It wasted a lot of my time. The best thing you can really do is focus. As soon as I focused on one thing, like one exact thing, everything worked out great for me. So before I actually started Klas, I was doing one of that startup where I wanted to do it because I wanted to kind of gain experience in like coding and all that. Because as soon as I graduated from high school, I taught myself how to code within like 3 months. Then I built like a social betting app called Blabber that was like that allowed people to drag like random stuff. Like it was mostly used by anime fans, sports lovers, and all that. Yeah, so I got a lot of technical experience there. But as for business experience, I never really got any business experience from anywhere. I learned all the lessons I needed to learn. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Um, I feel like the biggest challenge really was getting the team. I spent like like that whole gap year, I spent half of it just finding the right team. First of all, you need to convince people to work with you, because a lot of guys were like seeing me as a young guy that doesn't really know what he's doing, or
Yeah,
someone
that
that
challenge
or
is
someone that is just exploring, and very soon he'll come back to his senses and go back to school, or or someone that is too ambitious, like what does this like 17-year-olds Port Harcourt boy think he can build for the world and all that, you know. So that was how a lot of people were actually looking at it like that, and it was really difficult. You know, I went to a lot of teams. A lot of guys even tried to outsmart me. A lot of guys tried to even take over the idea at some point. You know, yeah. So I think it was the team that was the most difficult. And at the end, I actually really got lucky. Like right at the end with the team, when I finally found my perfect team, because my current co-founder, I was one of the first people that signed up on the YC co-founding platform, like the co-founding matching platform, when YC launched it last year, like late last year. I signed up that very first day, and the very first swap, I found my co-founder, and it was like God sent. You know, he's the definition of a 10x engineer. Holy shit, this guy is really awesome. And we had like several calls, and you know it was clear that we had like a shared vision of building the future of online education. So I went with my gut feeling and went with him, and it was the best decision I ever made. The other guys, I found them on LinkedIn, just scrolling, and I saw some of their work, and I felt really compelled to reach out. I reached out, and eventually they joined the team.
That makes a lot of sense. The story is a very nice one. At least meeting someone who really shares your same passion with you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, I've been asking like a lot of challenges here. So I have another one really. Not I would say it's a challenge this time around here. We know that obviously there are challenges and must have been faced, but there are still some other things that obviously you enjoyed. You understand? What are those things like so far so good since you've been building Klas? What are those things that you look back to and be like, oh, I really like the fact that I did this. What are some of like not just like the end goal. I mean the journey itself. What were
The
those
journeys.
exactly? What were those things that happened or rather that are happening and you really like enjoy?
I really love the fact that I focused more on the product, than making noise on social media. It's just now that people are actually starting to learn about Klas, or even me or any of my team, because we focused on the product first. So that the best advice I ever got, like if a few months ago, I got it from one of my mentors at the time. His name was Hans Weberg, the founder of Be My Eyes, the largest online blind community in the world. He told me focus on like build a great product, and the right people would come knocking. So I never attended any tech conference. I've never attended the tech events. You don't see me in any of these places. I just wanted to focus on building something really impressive, something that would blow people's mind, and something that at least would give me a leverage when either talking to potential teammates or potential investors or customers or just the public, So I think that is the greatest thing that I did, that I look back and I'm very thankful I did that.
Yeah. All right, that makes a lot of sense. If you have any question, if anyone has any question, feel free to just pop it. All of us questions. So okay, so anyway, okay, now we all know. Oh, Nathan is the guy who founded Klas. Yeah, I believe everybody here knows what Klas is, but just in case anyone doesn't, so Nathan, can you explain what Klas is first?
Yeah, sure. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So Klas is a platform that allows anyone to start an online school and deliver live classes at scale. Think Shopify for online teaching. The software kind of supports everything you need to teach online: payments, community, analytics, class management, and class management, marketing, and even video conferencing, all in one place, so that the creator just focus on teaching. Yeah. So you can say it more like we are trying to kind of build like the core infrastructure for online teaching and become like that go-to online teaching platform globally.
All right. So okay. Anyway, there's a question from the chats already. So okay, the first one is okay. How did you learn to code so fast? Was there something special you did? A question from GenZs.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Nothing really, so when I kind of finished high school, that very weekend I started all this, I kind of cut off a lot of my social life, so I became more like a hermit. I never went anywhere, never left the house. I was just in my room 24/7 every single day for like one full year, you know. So when you have a lot of time on your hands and you're not doing any other thing than just the work, you know. Yeah, sure, people say it's not healthy, you need to play, but I knew I needed to sacrifice that like a lot of time to this. So that's how I was able to learn fast. Plus, I had some really great technical friends too, which I was always like disturbing and asking a lot of questions and all that.
That makes a lot of sense. At least having friends also like again comes out again of having friends that share the same vision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, there's another question. Okay, I think it's from the same person as well.
Uh-huh.
Okay, does class have any traction yet? I believe you
Yeah,
should be
sure.
able to see these questions. Like
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
can.
I'm
Okay,
seeing it.
yeah, just
I'm
remember.
seeing it.
Right. So okay, does class have
Yeah.
any traction yet? Okay. Okay, so I believe that's a straight answer. Yes,
Okay.
you want to go into it.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
I can go into some details if you want to.
All right. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So
Go
yeah.
on.
So currently we have like currently like last time I checked, you know, we have over 2,800 creators that are signed up in the waitlist. We're powering over 100 schools, online schools globally. Over 7,000 students have been taught on the platform. We have launched the full we have launched I think 4 products, and actually on Monday we are launching a new product, so look out for that one.
Okay. When you do launch, please let all of us know.
Yeah,
Even
sure.
if you say
You
that in
guys
social media, please post it one. Let us know. All
yeah.
right. All right. So okay, I have like lots of questions, even in my DM. Like I don't know how I should filter them. So there's this interesting one I'm seeing right here. Okay, I'm getting so much. Okay. There's okay. Does class give online certificates?
No, we don't give. Although is in the product roadmap to actually build a kind of just a simple certificate builder for any of the online schools that want to offer certificates. I'm actually building that myself, you know, just something where you can create like simple certificates and offer your design. That should come in May. Yeah. But us ourselves, you know, we don't get involved in the teaching. We just want to offer the infrastructure. Whatever the online schools really do, whether they want to give or not, you know, is concern us.
All right. Okay. So okay, this question is actually from me, just out of curiosity. Content creators
Oh,
do make money, right? Like I mean, like if I want to teach someone, I'm definitely going to make money off it, right?
yeah. Again, it depends on you. You can monetize your online school. You know, be hosting paid classes. You can also be hosting free classes throughout. You know, we have a lot of people that are just teaching for the fun of it and they don't want to monetize, even though I've been hoping
Uh,
they will monetize.
yeah.
But
Okay.
there are also quite a lot of people too that are monetizing too.
All right. So there's also something that another very interesting thing here. The whole idea of class, yeah. Does it
Mhm.
go against the traditional educational system, or does it work with the current educational system?
Yeah. Okay. So actually, when I like late last year when we did this final pivots, you know, to class and all that. Now, what you know, like how I what I actually used to convince my mom, you know, for this dropping out and all that was that you know that I'm not going to survive in like a physical school, like a university and all that. You know, people like me, and what I mean by that now, you know, people that are that's you know are dreamers, you know, people that want to do something big, that want to change the world, that are restless, eccentric, you know, like being constricted, big or being restricted, sorry, in like a four-wall school, not having a lot of time is really damaging, really, to a lot of young, ambitious people out there. So I
Yeah.
actually see a future where it's going to be more of a hybrid stuff, but I see a future where there will be more online schools, there will be more remote schools, which will allow people to kind of do their entire education from anywhere in the world while still working on their dreams, you know. And
Yeah.
again, that would also reduce the time to, I mean, spending 4 years to learn how to code. That is crazy. Like
Yeah.
people, you know, so that is really the end game for us. You know, we want like millions of online schools launched on our infrastructure, powering dreamers and people that want to change the world, like us. You know, every single person here is like that. I'm very sure. So
Yeah.
and I'm very sure we also share the same pains with like schools, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not typical schools we go to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is actually very interesting. Someone just mentioned the class is definitely revolutionary, and I actually stand with that, to be honest. Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay, someone has a question, but this question is not relating to the product.
Sure.
Okay, how did you go about fundraising for your startup?
Fundraising. Yeah. Okay, so the fundraising, you know, was really I won't use the word. You know, I'm trying not to use the word easy, but it was easier than I expected. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, it's kind of this
Recording is on.
it destroys the boundaries. So like some people now that may want to, like, in the future, I see a situation where every major university, you know, the MITs and all that, they would all launch fully working remote schools on our infrastructure. You know, that is the dream. People schools like MIT, Harvard,
Yeah.
and people that may not have the opportunity to travel to this kind of schools, you can still attend and
Mm-hmm.
attend like remotely and get even a better experience and all that. Yeah, so that's just what I'm hoping to leave
Do.
behind. And of course, we haven't even gone halfway, but it's something that I feel we can achieve by the end of the.
Definitely. Wow, that's nice. Thank you so much for sharing that. And
Yeah.
also like the industry is so big.
Yeah,
As of
so big.
2020, the mobile e-learning industry has grown by I think $38 billion from 2017 to 2022. So it has
Yeah.
grown by a whole lot. And like I'm thinking of like how do you hope to capitalize on that rapid growth that is like catching on now, especially now in 21st century. How do you hope to capitalize on that?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we just have to have the best and most robust product teaching platform in the world, you
Yeah.
know. So, and that is what we are focusing on right now. Before our proceeds in the next 6 months, I've just leaked that information away. But yeah, but before our proceeds in the next 6 months, you know, we are hoping that in the next 6 months we should have the best online teaching platform in the world, like
Wow,
hands,
wow.
like even though we know our competitors they have millions in the bank and all that, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like in terms of the technology, nobody should be able to compete with Class. So that's what we are all focused
Wow.
on right now. We are working sleepless nights and all that. And that's the focus right now. Yeah, but
Awesome.
outside that is just focusing on you know making it as outside the product to you know just making sure we can offer the best experience to
Yeah.
users. I have like 10 to 15, sorry, yeah, 10 to 15 meetings every day now with like big partners that want to bring their existing online schools with thousands of students or hundreds of students, you know, to Class. And I keep hearing a lot of exciting things we'll be adding and all that. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work, honestly, because of first of all, you know, we are from Africa, so
Yeah.
already that puts us at a disadvantage. You know, we would never
Mm-hmm.
raise, no matter how much we want to raise, we would never raise as much as our competitors. You know, like Maven and the rest, we would never raise as much. You know, but we would beat them in the technology, and that is our
Yeah.
focus. Right, we may not have the resources, but we'll beat them in technology.
Wow. Awesome. I love your vision. That's really nice. I think I have just one more question. Like I think one very special thing about your story is the amount of money that you were able to raise within a short period of time. Like that's like over 50 million naira in naira, yeah, in currency if I'm correct. So like it's a lot of money. And like I'd like to know like what advice will you give like other young people that like have a business idea, whether in technology, whether it's not even in technology, but like they have a desire to start up like a very big business because they have a big vision, but they don't have enough capital now to start something. So what advice will you give to them to like try to get capital, maybe from angel investors like you did, or something of that nature? What advice will you give?
Build something first, you know, like have just like no matter how scrappy it is, trust me, our first
Mhm.
version was really scrappy, you know. We were
Okay.
even using Zoom for the online classes, and it was not even like a full integration. So we told
Yeah.
people it was a full integration, but at the back, you know, when you sign up, I would go and like get a Zoom link and put it inside this thing and send it through MailChimp. Then people would think that, oh wow, they're going to no. So so there was a lot of good hacking in the first version. It was very scrappy, actually very embarrassing
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah, but you need to just build something and just get started. So,
Hmm.
when we started, we didn't really have much money. In short, the money that I was using from my college funds was more or less to pay like a compensation fee to the other two engineers that we hired,
Yeah.
and and all that. But I honestly think that with the amount of resources on the internet, the amount of tools out there, you can launch something without money. You don't need money to start.
Yeah.
Launch something very simple, gets some traction, like no matter how small, then you can impress an investor.
Mm-hmm.
Also, too, one more thing too. It's something that a lot of people listen. Don't start approaching investors when you're about to raise. So one of the things that really helped me was that most of the investors I actually approached, I knew them months before my raise, like
Oh
five,
wow.
6, and I was just friends with them. Some of them I was just like, I was always sending them updates for advice, or I was always asking them for advice. One other advice
Mhm.
that I got from that Hans Webeck, he told me that ask people for money and they will shun you, they'll snub you. But ask people for advice and they may give you money. So that's the thing,
That's nice.
don't like try to network first, build a
Mm-hmm.
real relationship with your potential investors, then
Yeah.
show how committed you are. Most of the time they're the ones that will actually reach out, like when
Yeah.
this round started, the person that led the round, he was the one in December, I remember 26th, he just called me and said
Wow.
that are we going to be raising anytime soon? I was like, we don't really have plan, but yeah, sure, we can raise. You're like, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That first quarter next year, we will start around. I was like, wow, that's great, and that was
Wow.
just so it wasn't even me that really started the round. And trust me, people are watching. People are always watching. So
Definitely. Yeah.
make the network and just put your head down and build something impressive. They may even be the one to reach out.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really like that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm actually very curious about something as well. I
Mm.
was reading up on your story and I figured that like you were actually into kind of like power energy before. So like a while back you created a device called Energy Spare. Is that correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So 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 before I was into like software tech and all that, I
Mm-hmm.
was I was like as I said, I was like a huge physics geek or nerd and all that. I was into
Yeah.
thinking with a lot of stuff. I built a scrappy electric bell in my school. There was even a time that I convinced the school to buy me materials to build like an Iron Man suit when I was in Chess 2. It was very
Wow.
embarrassing memory. So there were all sort of things that I kept, trying to think on. And actually, I still have a huge passion for that. But I realized that, if I go down that road, I won't, like, first of all, like for me to be like a scientist or an inventor, I need to depend on
Mm-hmm.
brand. And I'm not going to be doing that the rest of my life. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, what is the fastest way that I can still do my passion but also make money without all that, So I said that I was going to go down this route, get successful, and disrupt something. Then later in life, I'll still go back to my physics, and that's how I want to retire. I still want to retire as a physicist, like later in my life. By then,
Yeah.
hopefully, there should be money to fund some of my crazy ideas and all
Definitely. But like, yeah. I think one thing I'm actually very curious about is, according to your story that I read up online, the device was
that.
actually able to power your home for like 1 good month, like the Energy Spare. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm
It
thinking
was.
like, are you, because I think the reason why you stopped it was because there was not like enough capital to actually fund the whole thing, right?
Yeah, there wasn't enough
Yeah. So
capital,
like,
and
do you
yeah,
do
there
you,
wasn't
do you
enough
plan
capital,
on when do you
and at
plan
the
on
time,
starting that?
I was too young. Later, like probably towards the ending of
Towards the ending of what?
plan of a lot of things I wanted to do. Ending of this decade,
Okay. Okay.
I'll
That's nice.
start
That's
all the
nice.
yeah, yeah,
Hello.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
yeah. I'm
Okay.
here.
So
So any more
thank you for
questions?
that answer. Yeah, so I don't know whether anybody has any question or Divine.
Yeah, I can hear you. If anybody has like any questions or whatever. Okay, someone has their hand raised up. Angel, I don't
Okay.
know if do you have a question or is like a mistake or what? Angel.
Nathan, kudos on your raise. Um, Something really interesting about what you're doing is that I think about 2 years ago, when the pandemic struck, I was working on a project called 34 Colors, to kind of help schools, medical schools, move online. And one of the biggest problem was the lack of infrastructure in Africa to help, the schools move online. Like most US schools, like mine, moved online in like a week, 5 days, some two, some one. But it took, universities, even private schools in Nigeria, months to be able to move the infrastructure completely online. So I definitely think Class has a lot of opportunity right there to, but I know Class is targeting worldwide, but to really bridge the gap in infrastructure in Africa, because for a very long time we've been a consuming economy. We didn't really build a lot of stuff are not made by Nigerians. So kudos on that. So congratulations. And hopefully I hope I can connect you to maybe University of Benin to
Thanks.
see if they can adopt Class there. So yes, thank you. And finally I want to say
Thanks.
um, how, I know I've read your story, but I'm curious. So how exactly did the fundraising process work? So I know you said you built a scrappy demo, and then you had people you already networked with, but do you have like a slide, or like, or did you use like a Notion memo? Like, how do you do it?
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So I had a pitch deck, just a 10 slide pitch deck, very, very simple. And yeah, that was it. I just had a pitch deck.
Oh, nice.
And most of the investors didn't even look at the pitch deck. I knew, because most times I'll enter the meeting and I'll ask them some questions and they'll be like, "What?" So I'll be like, "Oh wow, this guy didn't read my pitch deck."
And do you mind like open sourcing the pitch deck, like basically put it in the community so that have access to it? See if you
Yeah,
can.
sure. I would look into it if there's any sensitive information. I mean, blot that out, but I would open source it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nathan. I look
Yeah,
forward
so
to cheering you on from the sidelines. Thank you.
All right then. All right then.
thanks. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Just in case anyone didn't see it here, from the chats, I believe Class is hiring. I know that Gen Z, this community have a lot of skills. The fact that we're using this platform, Gen Z Meets, is enough to show that, oh yeah, we have talents here. So, Nathan, if you're hiring, definitely would really
Yeah,
appreciate if you look into the Gen Z community as well. Okay, so
awesome.
any more questions? Like, pop up your questions like right now. And also, someone meant, okay, we just talked about it like just now. About the page slide thing. Of course, you could always send it later. Personally, one thing I've gotten from here is especially when it comes to fundraising, I believe many of us are eager to know about it. But there's something he really said, and I want to emphasize it again. If you have like, if you know someone that you want to meet and ask them for money, instead of asking for money, ask for advice. They will give you money. All right, okay. Timmy has a question. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Hey Nathan, how you doing? So mine is more of like a personal question, and which is, what's the best way to reach you? You're not a social guy, so I'm guessing Twitter is out of the question. If I want to have a conversation with you today, what is the most effective way to get your attention?
Uh, is LinkedIn. That's the only platform
LinkedIn.
I'm very active on.
Okay. Wow, the platform I am least active on is the person I like that dynamic. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's all I have to ask on this space. Don't worry. You will be hearing more from me in the coming days.
Sure, man. Thanks.
All right. Okay, someone is asking for your LinkedIn username.
It's just Nathan. Just typing like Nathan Nwachuku. You'll see me.
Okay. Any, I can see any is here. Any, Eniola.
How we all doing? Hi Nathan. Hi Divine.
Yo, what's up, any?
I'm
Hey,
good.
Annie.
Hi, Timmy.
What's up, man?
All right, so we're just about to. Okay, I didn't get
Sorry.
any. Okay, someone regarding building a solution. Okay, so someone has a question, JT. I have a question regarding building a solution which already exists and growing. Regardless of that, I don't get your question. It's not so clear. Do you want to speak about it? Well, I don't think the person heard. Okay. So anyway, there's this. Okay, JT. Can you hear us?
I'm sorry, can I ask a question?
Oh, sure.
Okay, Nathan, yeah. I have a very, very small question anyway. When you first started like managing your team, was there like you said there were issues, but how did you resolve them with those developers or whoever they were?
Um, well, mainly the issues were us not just having like the same vision. Like when you're working with a team, you need to ensure that every single person has this, like, is as ambitious as you and has the same vision. Currently that is what I have with my team, so I'm very, very lucky for that. But when I started, I there were a lot of people that were seeing Klas as a get rich quick scheme. They thought that, okay, I'll enter and like within the next 2 months or so that Klas will just blow up and get a lot of money. And when after like 1 month passed and we're still working, we're still thinking and all that, we're like, oh God, no, I'm not going to waste my time here. And they left. So you have to stay away from those kind of guys. And again, something that I think a lot of people do is that, like, treat your engineers like as people. Lots of founders, they treat their engineers as like puppets in a large system. Like, these guys are just here to build and this. You need to be considered with them. More or less, you need to become friends with them. Like my engineers, I sometimes I call them up not to tell them anything, just to gist with them, see how they are doing in their lives. Like are there any issues? Do you want a time off tomorrow or so? And it makes them feel, will I say that they are not, that they are real people. It makes them feel like that the company actually cares for them. So that's another issue that I see with a lot of engineers, because when you treat them as real people, I can assure you, like, there are a lot of guys too that can work with you on whatever thing you're doing for free. When I started, nobody was earning anything. They all worked with me for free, just to achieve this huge vision and all that. And that was because I approached them as a friend. I really wanted to build this with them and all that, not as like an employee or anything. Even the current people that are working for me, that I'm still paying salaries and all that, I still don't treat them as employees. I treat them as friends. So that is another way to kind of solve most issues really with the team.
No,
Yeah.
that's, I asked this question because though I'm not actually making a startup currently, but I actually work in some startups. And there's this particular one where, let me say, all the developers are very lazy and it pisses me off. To be able to control them it's a whole different issue. Like the issue of age, all those kind of things just keep popping up.
Yeah. I don't think age should be like a huge factor when choosing this thing. I mean, sure, in my team, I'm the youngest, but the next youngest is 19. The oldest is actually my co-founder. I think he's 29 or so, but the rest of us, we are really young, 19, 20, 22, and me, 18. But I don't think age should be a factor, because there are some people that are 16 and can be very mature, they are very, will I say, they are very serious, they won't lose track or be unserious and all that. There are some people that are 20, 29 and they act like they're 8, so like age should not really be a factor when choosing your team. It should really just focus on just like what is their passion, and are they really as ambitious for this, and are they here really for the money, or what, or how this would affect, like impact the world or the industry and all that.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Sure, man, sure.
So, I have a very interesting question here from someone. What's the best way to go about being self-taught?
Being self-taught.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
I think that obviously, like, you didn't learn this from any school.
yeah.
Like,
Uh, there are actually a lot of ways to go about it. And the thing about learning is that learning is not a like one shoe fits all. Different people have different ways that they learn. So I don't think I can actually answer that question, because you need to find the best way to teach yourself for you. What worked for me may not work for you. But what I did though, I it was mainly learning from my friends. I was working on little small projects with them. Like I built a movie site. It was called Movie Slack, although it shut down after about 2 months because we had like over 200,000 like visitors, and we didn't expect that, and we weren't ready to pay the server for it. I I built a lot of small stuffs. So that is really the best way to learn. It's not even watching videos and getting like shitty Udemy certificates. No, you actually need to get your hands dirty, and with time you learn with experience. I mean, that is the best way that I learned. It may not work for you. Some people learn better when they just watch the videos. So yeah.
okay, that makes a lot of sense. 200,000. That sounds interesting. Anyway, I believe we'll keep on like asking questions. There's one question someone asked, and I think obviously should probably get to it. Okay, how did you attract early creators to class?
Yeah. So when I started class, it was just a lot of reaching out. Like at first, I was just doing like just reaching out to everybody, but no one was answering me. They all snubbed me. Of course, I felt like okay, I need to change tactics. So I actually spent like a whole week finding the perfect code message. How long should it be? What should I say? How this thing, until I developed like a template that I use for every time I want to reach out to somebody. And so far, it's been like 95% successful. And since then, I had a lot of success with creators. I was able to get people like the lead product manager at Patricia hosting the management class, software engineers at Paystack hosting classes. So um, I feel like you just need to work on your code message. Most of the time people write like a wall of text. Even me personally, I never read the wall of text. So like recently now, I've been getting a lot of code messages, and those that are like I need to keep scrolling. I always leave it now, and I think to myself, wow, so this is how I was really sending people messages. Like I now understand how annoying it can be. So go straight to the point. I can actually also share like if you guys like reach out to me personally, I can share the template I was using so I can help you to you go straight to the points, and you ask what you're listening. You don't need to tell like a whole life story when you're reaching out. No, just go straight to the points and you should work out. So yeah,
Yeah,
if you want that, just reach out to me personally. I'll help
yeah,
with
that,
that.
that definitely does make sense. To be honest, I've learned a lot from talking already. Do you have like, do you have like a lecture, or do you have like a lecture on class that we can come learn from?
No, although from Monday I want to start hosting classes every day.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you should like lots of 101.
No, the classes I'm hosting is more about how to use class. So it's like kind of
Okay.
meta.
So
But
I'm already learning a lot. Okay. If someone else wants, oh, Angel, go ahead.
also
Hey Nathan, I just thought about this. Can you integrate GenZtechies to class?
like the community or this
No, no,
too.
no. Like the like how you have like Zoom added up there. Can you add Gen Z Meet in it?
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's something that we can add. Although we are actually about to remove Zoom from there too. Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
why is that?
We just want the focus to be on this thing. Like, class life is finally good enough to not need Zoom anymore as an alternative. So we are removing that. No, like we are pushing a lot of updates to class life too. Even tomorrow, currently we can host over 200 students per class. There's full screen share.
Oh, nice. I mean, it's good. Having your own infrastructure versus depending on another person's infrastructure, it's always better. Yeah, smart. But if you do want to try adding Gen Z meat, that would be really nice, and I'm sure everyone will be like, "Cool."
Okay, nice. So, someone asked again, how can I reach out to you? You've answered it before, but you just like state it again so everyone can hear. Is he still here? Or is it just me? I can hear myself? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you,
hear
bro.
you. Fine.
So, Nathan, you're here, right?
Okay, so from I can see like he's currently in a network
Network,
issue based
yeah.
on the distance signal. But
All
that's
right.
just yeah.
Okay, so for the person who asked how to reach out to him, he already answered that. He said you could reach him out on his LinkedIn page, Nathan.
Oh, okay. He dropped his number in the chat.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Hey,
So,
thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's my my WhatsApp number. You can actually reach out to me on WhatsApp. I'm actually also very active there.
nice.
And I don't normally give this out, but anything for the community.
Yeah.
Nathan, why did you not give me LinkedIn?
Yes, I was going to say this is exclusive for GenZtechies. Oh,
I'm still
Yeah.
waiting.
I beg you, people should not leak his number.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for confirm. Right then. Any more questions? To be very honest, we've almost spent an hour here.
Yeah, I have a
Ah,
question.
Okay. Go ahead. I think he's
Hello.
having a network issue. Any other person with any question? Because we've almost spent an hour here. I believe everyone has more things to do. Like today.
I have
Amy,
one quick question. Oh,
all right.
okay. So, like, I'm curious. Like, let's say, like, potentially, like, X person has like an opportunity for a partnership, right? How do I reach out to you? Do I just send you a message on WhatsApp, or do I have to like go through like is there like a way to like send a message on you like on your like
email.
website?
Okay. Yeah. If you want like an official partnership and all that, the best way is really to send to my email. Nathan
Can
at
you
tryclass.com.
drop down the chat, please?
Yeah, I'm dropping that now.
Okay, thank
Nathan
you.
at tryclass.com for partnerships. Yeah.
Okay, then Eniola, do you have anything to say? Eniola still here?
I think he dropped off.
Okay, so someone has a suggestion for the community. Would you like to say it so everyone can hear?
Can you guys hear me now? Sorry, Divine. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah, I
can
can
hear
hear you.
Okay, great. What were you saying before, please?
No, someone dropped a message. I have a suggestion for the community. I don't know.
Okay. That is Ami Bami.
Amir.
Okay. So I don't think we would like to extend this call any further. So, but please reach out to me on Slack, any for sure, and then we'll
No,
be able to take it up.
okay, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right then. So I believe this is where we draw the contents. Past an hour already. So I believe everybody here had a very good time. We've all learned one or two things today. Like we're not going to lie about that.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for sharing like a lot of things with us. Startup 101. I believe some people here must have noted one or two things that you've said. All right then. So I believe we'll just call it a day here. Stay safe, everybody.
Thanks a lot too for giving me this opportunity. This I don't normally talk to a lot of people like this, so it's a break away from the routine for me.
No
Thanks.
one.